Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Ashutosh Rane, and today I am going to present my second machine learning project naming Zomato clustering and sentiment analysis with natural language processing. So let's get started. So let me give you a short overview of my project. So this is an unsupervised machine learning clustering model and sentiment analysis with the help of natural language processing. So as we know that Zomato is an leading Indian restaurant aggregator and food delivery startup started in 2008, and also it provides useful information regarding the restaurant menus, user reviews of various restaurants, food delivery options, etc. in selected cities. As we know that in today's time, the restaurant industry is very competitive and customer ratings and cuisine preferences play a crucial role in determining the business success. So to understand this problem, I have developed an sentiment analysis with natural language processing, and with the help of K-means clustering, we can know that which is the most preferred cuisines by the people. And I have made a three-way data analysis of the first data analysis includes the analysis of restaurants. The second analysis includes the analysis of reviews given by the various reviewers. And the third data analysis I have done on the cuisine section. And the most important part of this project is the using the natural language processing for sentimental analysis and K-means cluster to find the best cuisines clustered according to the cost and the ratings given by the users. So this is the project summary. What I have done in this project, I have for doing the sentimental analysis, I have done some text processing like lower casing, tokenization, punctuation removal, stop word removal, stemmings, lemmatization, etc. So I have applied K-means clustering to cluster cuisine data points with respect to their cost and average ratings, and also applied principal component analysis to do the cluster the cuisines to find best among its on basis of ratings. So this is my project architecture where I have started a data collection. Then I have two types of data: one restaurant metadata, and the second one is review data. I applied this text pre-processing on these data sets, then applied the sentiment analysis. After sentiment analysis, I applied the K-means clustering and principal component analysis. So now in the very first step, I have imported all the important libraries required for the data analysis. As we know, the pandas, NumPy, Matplotlib, and Seaborn for plotting the plots or various visualizations. Then word cloud for finding the important keywords related to restaurants, reviews, and cuisines, etc. Now, in the next step, I imported the given two data sets. The first one, the restaurant metadata and the review metadata. Uh, uh, I have made a copy of the restaurant metadata and stored in the variable called meta underscore df. So this main copy will be required later during the clustering process. So now here I applied a df.head function to get the top five records in the restaurant metadata. As you can see, it has columns, namely name, which represents the restaurant name, links of the various link column for the links of various restaurants, cost of cuisine, then collection, then cuisine collections, cuisine names, timings, etc. So as you can see, after applying the df.shape function, we get there are 105 records and 6 columns in this restaurant uh, metadata dataset. Let's move forward to the review data set where you can see the restaurant name column, reviewer column, review rating, metadata like number of review and the followers of the reviewer, time and pictures, except times and picture. So in this review data set, there are 10,000 records and 7 columns. The restaurant column represents the name of the restaurant. Reviewer gives the name of the reviewer. The review text rating column provides the rating given by the reviewer metadata like number of reviews and followers he or her have. And then time and date and time of the review, pictures and number of picture posted with the review. So of so in the very next process, I have done the EDA, simple EDA of both these data set to find the non-null values and finding the data types of this data set. So as you can see, this is the metadata of our restaurant data set. Then I have taken some statistical summary of this restaurant data set. Then I have checked for the duplicate values in the data set. There are no duplicate values. And after that, I have changed the data type of the column, you cost column using the adds type function, which I have changed from object to integer. Now you can see in the next step, I have done the same process with the review data set. Again, df.info function for review dataset, then statistical summary of the review dataset. Then I find the unique values in the rating column. Uh, there are ratings are given in the form of object data type. So we will change it later. So in the next step, I have changed the data type of the rating column. For example, I have replaced the text like with the null values, and I have changed the data type from object to float 64. And in the next step, I have printed the average rating given by the user. So we get the average as 3.6 out of 5 given by the many users. So in the next step, I have filled these values with, and I have the text values which replaced with null values. I have replaced that with the average reviews in the next step. So in the next step, I have split the review metadata column into two temporary columns, namely reviews and followers. And I have converted the same reviews, the new columns, reviews and followers into numeric data type. So which will be used later. So and after splitting, I have the column which I have split called new data. I have dropped it, and again we have the time column in the review data set, and I have extracted the time, year, month, and hour from the data set using PD date and time function. So in the next step, I have replacing the followers and reviews null values into 0. So I have just filled null values with 0 in the new columns like followers and reviews. So after that, I have just dropped the remaining null values because that it will not impact our model performance in this. And I have resetted the indexed value using the reset index function. So the first important part of my project, that doing the in-depth data analysis of restaurant reviews and cuisines. So in the very first step of this data analysis, I have find the top 10 costly or expensive restaurants. Uh, Here I have declared a variable called top 10 costly rest, in which I have sorted the restaurants with respect to their name and cost and grouping by name, and using sum function and sorting the values in the descending order, and using the head function I have extracted the top 10 expensive restaurants. So after running this code, we have got this output in the textual format of the top 10 restaurant. So for easy interpretation, I have used this horizontal bar chart where you can see the Colag Hyatt Hyderabad Gachibowli is the most expensive restaurant with an total price of more than 2,500. Then the second most expensive restaurant is Feast Sheraton Hyderabad Hotel, and followed by it is the 10 Downing Street. So these are the same insight which I have given now. So you can see the top name of the top three costliest restaurants. So what was the purpose of this particular chart? So uh, the this column chart or the horizontal bar chart is one of the easiest and simple visualizations to interpret the data easily. In the next step, using the same kind of method, I have find the top 10 most affordable restaurants from the data set. So I have declared the same variable called just a minor change like top 10 affordable restaurants. Again, I have grouped these data into name and cost and group by name. And again, I have used the sum function and sorted the values by cost in ascending order, and I have extracted the top 10 most affordable restaurant in the dataset. In the same way, I have plotted the same visualizations for the top 10 affordable restaurants. As you can see, the Mohammedia, Shawarma, Amul, and Sweet Baskets are the top three most affordable restaurants. And you can see the Mohammedia Shawarma with cuisine cost around rupees 145. The Amul cuisine around 150, and the sweet basket with a cost about 200 rupees. So in the next step, what are the keywords related to these expensive restaurants? So as you can see, I have plotted this word cloud to find out uh, what are the major words related to the expensive restaurants. So from the word cloud, you can see that the words like Hyderabad, Sheraton, Sweets, Tree, Gachibowli, Jonathan, Hyatt, Bar, Express, Barbecue, Grill, Company, Kitchen, etc. So, from analyzing this word cloud, we can say that the most we might make an hypothesis that this kind of expensive restaurant might be some kind of 5 star or 7 star hotels which have the highest cost with the help of this word cloud. So again, I have plotted the word cloud for the affordable restaurants where you can see the keywords like Upahar, Dhaba, Monster, Family, Biryani, Restaurant, Shawarma, Zone, etc. So from this, we can interpret that these kind of restaurants, the affordable restaurants, are in the categories like the regular eateries we found in the suburban areas, many canteen like restaurants or street side restaurants, etc. So this was the in-depth analysis of the restaurants which I have where I have analyzed the top expensive restaurants and top affordable restaurants. In the very next part, I have done the data analysis of review data. So I have plotted a column chart to find the number of reviews given per month by the reviewers. So this is the x-axis is represented by the by the all the 12 months, and the y-axis represents the number of reviews given per month. So these are the insights. We can see the consistent rise in the number of reviews given from the month of January to April. So you can see there is a gradual rise in the number of reviews given by the reviewers from January to April. Af- After that, it peaked, the number of reviews peaked in the month of May, but it drastically declined in the month of June, and again it rose, and it again rose to nearly 1300 reviews in the month of July. After that, you can see again a sudden decline in the month of August, and you can see the reviews are barely near 650 reviews in the month of July. After that, we can see there is a slight steady trend in the number of reviews given per month till till August to December. So as I had told, in the June, we can see there is a sharp decline in the number of reviews. Again, in the month of July, we can see a sharp rise in the number of reviews. Again, there was again decline in the number of reviews in the month of August. After August, as I shown you, there was a steadiness in the number of reviews ranging between 500 and 600 reviews per month. And this is the most important part, the rating count. Means out of 5, how much 5 out of 5 rating given by the reviewers, how much 1 star rating given by the reviewers to the restaurant, etc., can be analyzed using this visualization. So as you can see, the 5-star rating is dominating this chart. The highest count for the 5-star rating suggesting that the most users are highly satisfied with the product or the service given by the restaurant. So we can see there is also good engagement with the 4-star rating, which is the second highest rating in this data, indicating that there is a considerable amount of users which are satisfied, but there is a slight room for improvement for these restaurants who have received the 4-star rating. There are also low counts for 2 and 3-star ratings, which have relatively lower count, showing that the fewer users had an average or slightly negative experience. The significant number of 1-star rating, the presence of high number of 1-star rating suggests that the substantial numbers of users had a poor experience. Uh, the bar for a half point ratings like 2.5, 3.5, 4.5 is very low, indicating that it indicates that the users generally tend to give a whole number rating. Like they are giving like entire review like 2-star, 3-star, or 4, 5, etc. So what can be the potential solution after analyzing this review count? So restaurants should investigate the reason behind the high number of 1-star rating received by the customers, and should actively and they should actively address the customer concerns, and they should also identify the key factors driving the 5-star rating. What are the reasons other restaurants have received the 5-star rating, and they should apply the same strategy on themselves to improve from 1-star to further more improving the rating. So if we consider the 4-star rating, uh, so they also so the restaurants who have received the 4-star rating should also analyze themselves and should improve the user experience to get into the section of the 5-star rating, 5-star rated restaurants. So this was all about the rating counts, which is also very important for the food industry business to improve and get the business success as far as possible. So in the next step, I have analyzed the top reviewers. Here I have grouped used a group by function to group the reviewers, and applied the anonymous function known as lambda to get the reviewer count and the reset. I have reset the index. So I have extracted the extracted the top 10 reviewers from our dataset using this plot again, where the x-axis represents the name of the best top 10 reviewers, and the number of reviews, and the x-axis represent the number of reviews given by them. So as you can see, Ankita, Parijat, Rai, and Kiran are the top 3 reviewers among the top 10 reviewers. So these people have led the review section, and these top 3 reviewers have contributed the highest number of reviews, indicating their active engagement in reviewing the products of food products and services. And reviewers, namely Kiran and Vedant Kila, are also active reviewers, followed closely behind the top 2, showing the significant participant. After that, we can see a gradual decrease in the number of reviews given by the reviewers such as Jay Mehta, Manoj Kumar, D. Shravani, Siva Kumar, Priyanka, and the Age of Foodies, etc. So as we move on down the list, the number of reviews decrease slightly, indicating a small but noticeable gap between highly active reviewers and others. So there are also presence of food bloggers, namely like Age of Foodies. This suggests that influencer or bloggers might be involved in reviewing and impacting the overall review trends. So what possible actions these businesses can take to improve the overall experience? So they should engage with these top reviewers and provide them some kind of incentives or exclusive previews to engage them with them. They should also identify the influencers impact, since one of the top reviewers among them is a food blogger. So analyzing their influence and review trends might so it so analyze so engaging with the reviewers like food bloggers can increase the marketing opportunities of these restaurants, and uh, uh, they should also if the reviews are very important for some business, so for some food businesses, they should apply this in decision making strategies like gamification and recognition of programs could encourage more user engagement. So in the next step, I just wanted to know who are the top five reviewers with average rating of reviews. So Kiran, Vedant, Kila, and Ankita are among the top three reviewers as per the average rating. So Kiran has the highest average rating. Kiran review has the highest average rating among the top five reviewers. This suggests that Kiran generally gives higher ratings, indicating a positive reviewing tendency. Vedant, Kila, and Ankita have slightly lower ratings. Their average ratings are slightly lower than Kiran's, but still relatively high. This suggests that they also provide some mostly positive feedback with some kind of variations. Again, the Jay Mehta and Parijat Rai have the lowest average ratings. Uh, it tells us that they might have some kind of critical review giving tendency to the businesses. And if we see there is a good balance between the highest rating and the lowest rating. There is the no reviewer has given extreme low or extreme high score while reviewing the restaurant or food service, etc. So what potential action again the businesses can take by analyzing, depending on this data analysis, that they should analyze whether the reviews are biased or genuinely positive, understand the critical reviews. They should understand the critical reviews and should able to analyze to understand the common concern and areas of improvement. So they should again engage with the top reviewers, especially those who have given a constructive feedback and which can help to improve the product or service quality. So in the next step, I have analyzed the at which time the restaurants have received the most number of reviews, and I have analyzed using with the help and I have analyzed this data with the help of line plot. So as you can see the here number of the y-axis represent the number of reviews received per hour, and this x-axis represents uh, time of time of the day. So what are the important insights I have extracted from this chart? As you can see, the peak review hours is around 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. and again at the 10 p.m. It also tells that the users are mostly active in the afternoon and evening hour. As you can see, around 2 p.m. the number of reviews per hour is is at peak at 2 p.m. and it starts to decline till 7 p.m. And after that, after 7 p.m., it again peaks. It starts to peak around 8 p.m. and it again peaks at the 9 p.m. and it starts to decline after 9 p.m. So the lowest review activity is between the 4 a.m. and 6 p.m., where the number of review is at its lowest. This is expected as we know that most users may be inactive or sleeping during these hours. And after 6 p.m., there is again the gradual rise in the review count and starts increasingly gradually, reaching a significant peak around 2 p.m. This also suggests that the user starts to become active as the day progresses. There is an surge in the evening after 6 p.m. and is reaching its highest peak around 10 p.m. This also tells us that the people tend to write reviews during the after work hours and during their leisure time. So potential actions can be done by the restaurants or the food businesses, like they can schedule the review request to reviewers around 2 p.m. and again at the between the time slot of 9 to 10 p.m. to maximize the responses. The businesses can also analyze why the specific hours have the highest reviews, which can help them in the marketing strategies for their products. They can also engage into promotional strategies that can be implemented to encourage users to leave reviews during these off-peak hours. So this was all about the how reviews can help to improve the overall user experience, and which can also help the restaurants to improve service and food delivery options. So what are the common words which we can found in this reviews data set, like that good, service, food, overall, tasty, order, etc. These are the kind of common words which we can found in this review data set. So as you can see there, these are the overall good words used for the reviewing the restaurants. As you can see, amazing, service, place, definitely, time, drinks, chicken, food, restaurant, gravy, overall. So it suggests that people overall have given the good reviews to these many food businesses. So the so here I end the review analysis for the businesses and for the customers. So let's move on to the next part of this project. Like, now in the next step, I have analyzed the various cuisines offered and served by this restaurant. So before analyzing, I have done some kind of pre-processing, which is necessary for analyzing the cuisines, as the cuisine columns have various stop words, then there have various punctuations, etc. The very first step of the cuisine analysis and pre-processing, I have imported the NLTK library, and from that NLTK library, uh, I have downloaded the stop words. As we know, the stop words means the words which provides the meaning to the sentences, like can, if, of, no, of, not, etc. So from that cuisine columns, we have to remove that stop words. So I have defined a function called stop words, which I have used to remove the stop words from that column. So, and also I have also lowercase the contents of this cuisine columns. And as you can see, after defining the function, I have applied these stop words to remove it. As you can see, af and after the printing the output, you can see the if any stop words were there in this column, they will be removed. And in the next step, I have removed the punctuations. As you can see, there are punctuations present in this data set, like commas, full stop, dots, etc. So again, I have uh, declared and defined a function called remove underscore punctuations. And I have imported the string library and replaced the punctuations with no space, in which effect that deletes the punctuation marks. And I have applied this function inside anonymous function lambda. So after applying this, you can see that all the punctuations are now removed from this particular feature. So with the help of regular expression, I have also removed the repeating characters from these cuisines, which can hamper our analysis. So again, I have applied this function cleaning repeating characters, and I have applied in the anonymous function lambda. And after printing, the data is clean now. And also I have removed and again I have defined a function to remove the numbers from this particular column. And now our cuisine feature is clean now to for the cuisine analysis. And to count the number of cuisines, I have imported the counter, and I have made use this counter text split, and I have used the counter to count the number of cuisines offered by the various restaurants. So I have created a data frame with cuisine frequency, which I have stored in this variable called word underscore frequency. So now again, I have plotted the horizontal bar chart find the most, to find the which which cuisines are served most in the restaurants. So as you can see, the North Indian, Indian, Indo-Chinese, and the fast food are the among the highest serving cuisines in the restaurants. Also, you can see the where North Indian is dominating the chart. So what are the important insights I have received from this chart? As you can see, that there is a dominance of North Indian cuisine. The North Indian cuisines are the most frequently served and significantly surpassing the other cuisines. This suggests that there is a high demand for North Indian cuisine in the restaurant industry. Uh, the Indian Chinese and the Indian Chinese is also not behind, indicating it also had a strong preference for fusion dishes. The fast food is showing its widespread availability and consumer preference. The South Indian cuisine also appears in the top five, providing its strong presence in the restaurant menus. You can see the cuisines like continental Chinese, North continental Italian, Chinese continental, that many restaurants are offering these kinds of niche cuisines as well. So, so though these dishes are not common like North Indian fast food, but these dishes like Indian kebab, Mughlai, dessert cafes suggest that there are specialty restaurants focusing on these options. So, what are the possible business implication after finding these insights? If the restaurants wants to target a broad audience, they should target the customers who prefer North Indian, a Chinese fast food option, which can maximize their customer reach. For the restaurants which are new to this industry, they should offer unique or less common dishes like Mughlai, Asian, continental desserts, which could create great opportunities for maximizing their business. For customers, there is a high presence of North Indian and fast food, which suggests that these are the safe bets available for ordering their food. So, what are the common words we can found in the cuisines? We can see that again, the word cloud also suggests that the North Indian, the keywords like North Indian, Chinese, Continental America, etc., have dominance in these cuisines. So this was all about the three-way data analysis of the restaurants. The second one about the reviews, and the third one about the uh, cuisines provided by the restaurants. Now, the very important part of my project, that is the sentiment analysis. That is the sentiment analysis of our restaurant reviews. So in the very first step, I have stored this review dataset into a new data frame called review. Uh, Again, I have applied the text pre-processing steps which are necessary for the natural language processing, where I have in the first step removed the punctuations, then I have removed the stop words. And as you can see, after removing the punctuations and stop words, this is the output of our new data frame review, where you can see there are no stopwords and no punctuations in this data set. So the next important step in this sentimental analysis, that I have applied the lemmatization. So as we know, the lemmatization means bringing the word to its root form. For example, if the word is like serving, running, so it will bring to its root form like serve, run, etc. So I have declared a function called lemmatization text. So and after that, I have applied this lemmatization function to our review data frame, which will eventually bring the many words to its root form. And again, in the next step, I have removed the spaces from this removed it from this review data frame. And in the third step, I have removed the non-letters using the regular expression. Means non-letters used to remove the non-letters from this list, which means like the numbers, punctuation if is remaining, etc. As you can see now, Now, after uh, after pre-processing this data frame, I have again joined it to our previously data set review underscore data set, and now you can see these are the top 5 records of our review underscore df data frame. So index number, name of the restaurant, name of the reviewer, what review the reviewer has given, the rating, time, pictures, review, followers, year, month, hour. So again, I have used a function to remove the words which are greater than which have greater than 45 and less than 2 alphabets in it. So uh, for for it then uh, so the analysis become much more easier. So again, I have declared a function called length less than 2, and using the list comprehension, I have used a for loop, and again I have applied it same in the anonymous function to make things faster. So now the most important step in our sentiment analysis. So I have done the sentimental analysis with respect to polarity and subjectivity of the reviews given by the reviewers. So I have imported some important libraries required for the sentimental analysis, where I have imported a count vectorizer, TF-ID vectorizer to find the frequency of the words. So I have created a function to get the polarity. So I have defined the polarity, and using the uh, a text blob library, we can find the polarity of the reviews given by the reviewers. And again, I have created two new columns to our data frame, namely subjectivity and polarity. In the next step, I have created a function in which I have using the if and elif statements to find the intensity to compute the uh, compu uh, com compute the magnitude of the review given by the users. If the score is less than 0, then the review is negative. If the score is equal to 0, then the review is neutral. And if n- and if the score is greater than 0, we can say that the review even is positive. As you can see now, after applying this function, after analyzing this entire part of our data frame, we have got the values of subjectivity and polarity, and you can see the corresponding value of the analysis as well. As you can see, if the polarity, the intensity is greater than 0, so you can see the analysis give the output as positive. So after applying, I have used the value counts function to see how much. So we can see that the number of positive reviews is 7,495. The number of negative reviews is 1,872. The number of neutral reviews, neither positive nor negative, is 587. So to show the distribution of these reviews, I have plotted this scatter plot. On the on the left hand side of the screen, we can see these red plots which represents the negative analysis. The blue dots represents the positive reviews, and the in the in the center you can see the green dots which represents the neutral reviews. So let's study the insights which I have received from the this chart. So analyzing the sentiments on the basis of polarity and subjectivity. So first of all, let's understand the axis of this plot. So x-axis represent the sentiment polarity, which ranges from 0 to 1. The y-x from 0 to 1, where the negative sentiment is represented by the left side, which is in red in color, where the value of polarity is less than 0. The neutral sentiment, which is the center, which is equal to 0, and the positive sentiment, which is less than which is greater than 0. The y-axis represents the subjectivity, the degree of subjectivity values from 0 to 1. The lower values which are given the lower value. So what is let us understand what is meant by the subjectivity. Subjectivity means how factual or personal the response is. The higher the subjectivity, the more personal the opinion we can say that. For example, if a particular dish is not likely to be served that spicy, but the reviewer likes the spicy, he may say that the dish is not as per his expectation. Because if we see that if that dish is particularly served not that spicy, but the reviewer likes it spicy, so we can say that the review given by is more personal than the more factual. So that is the concept of the subjectivity. Then the polarity suggests that how extreme the opinion or the personal expression is. So, what are the observations from the plot? First of all, the negative sentiments, which are spread across from -1 to 0 polarity, which means that many points have a higher subjectivity, indicating that the most negative reviews are opinion based rather than the factual based, as I have said earlier. And then there is a positive sentiments, the blue color, the blue dots, which are at the right side of the chart. The density is higher, meaning the more positive reviews exist. Many of these reviews are highly subjective, showing a tendency that the users are likely to express strong personal opinions in positive feedback. There are also some neutral sentiments which are at the center, which are given by the green dots. There are very few neutral reviews with limited data points, indicating they are neither strongly positive or nor negative. So what are the insights from the analysis? That both strong negative and strongly positive reviews are tend to be more subjective rather than purely factual. Where the positive sentiments dominates the charts. So the more data points fall in the positive region, suggesting that the overall sentiment about the many restaurants is very optimistic, and there are fewer neutral reviews. There are very few neutral reviews, meaning most of the feedback is either strongly positive or negative. So the very last part of my project, that is the clustering. For before doing the clustering, I have again done some data pre-processing. Again, I have so now the copy which we have made initially during the start of the project, which we are going to use here. So I have called here the meta df main data set, where I have targeted the cuisine column uh, to bring it all the contents into a lowercase. So I have merged the columns like name, cost, and cuisines, and again splitting the cuisines and replacing the punctuation marks. So for clustering, I have used multi-level binarizer to standardize to standardize these cuisines. As you can see now, these cuisines are now divided into different features like American, Andhra, Arabian, Asian, bakery. If in the dataset, if the American is present, it will give the number one. Like now, see, for the Beyond Flavors is offering South Indian, so it has labeled with one and other with zero. So this is how the multi-level binarizer works. It has provided the multiple labels depending on the different cuisines available in the dataset. So I have find the unique number of ratings from our reviewed data frame. So as you can see, the 5, 4, 1, 3, 2, 3.5, these are the unique ratings which are present in our review data frame. Again, I have removed the null values from the rating column and I replaced the categorical values with the numerical values and change the data type from and change the data type to float. And if there are some small if there are if the number of null values is small, I have dropped them. After that, I have find the rating average rating of each restaurant. So here I have printed the top 10 restaurants with their average ratings. So now here I have joined the two data set with the help of left join with the name and the right on restaurant. So I have joined the cuisine data set with the review data set. So we have got this new data frame called df underscore cluster. And in the next step, I have rearranged the uh, columns where you can see the cost and ratings are now side by side, which was at the last of this data frame. So it will make us easy to analyze the data set. So again, I have plotted here regression plot to show the relationship between the rating and the cost. As you can see now, there is a positive correlation between the rating and the cost. So as you can see, as the cost increases, the number of rating received by the restaurants also increases. So as you can see, there is a general trend. The regression line also has a positive slope, indicating that higher cost is associated with the higher rating. This suggests that the cost of the product or service increases as the customer tend to rate it more favorably. The strength of the correlation that the data points are scattered around the regression line, meaning the correlation is moderate but not very strong, implying that the cost influence the rating and other factors may also play a positive role. So the green shaded area represents the confidence interval of the regression model. The wider confidence interval at a higher cost suggests that the more uncertainty in predicting the ratings of the expensive products. So data distribution mostly falls between the 3.0 to 4.5 with very few outliers below 2.5. Many lower cost products have mixed ratings showing the both high and low satisfaction. Higher cost products generally, the higher cost products have generally received the better ratings with fewer low rated instances. So now the most important part, the clustering. So I have imported the k-means cluster principal, then the principal component analysis library and the k-elbow visualizer. So first of all, I have find the best number of clusters with the help of this elbow method. So as you can see, the inertia, which is falling inertia, when the inertia is the lowest, we can say that the best number of clusters for our data set is 5 data sets. So what are the insights? The graph shows the sharp decline in inertia from k number of clusters equal to 2 to k equal to 5, indicating that adding clusters significantly reduces the within cluster variance. After the K5, the rate of decrease is inertia slowdowns, forming an elbow at K equals to 5. As you can see that here, this is the elbow of our visualization. This suggests that the value of K is equals to 5 is likely the optimal number of clusters. As adding more, if we add more clusters beyond this point, which will diminish the returns. So again, I have done the silhouette analysis. The silhouette scores tell us that how good the clustering has done. So the here we can see the silhouette score also given the same kind of output where the value of k is 5 is optimal. Uh, so after that, after comparing this silhouette score and LO method, we can say that the optimal number of clusters is 5. And so now here I have fitted the K means clustering model with the label, and I have plotted the same. As you can see, uh, the the clustering is done based on the average rating and the cost of the cuisine. So I have stored this number of I have stored it clusters in the different variables, and again I have stored in the list of clusters. So So as you can see, the cluster which is blue in color, the cluster 0, it represents the high cost restaurants which range around rupees 1,500 to 2,000 rupees, and which is also received the ratings ranging from 3.5 to 4.8, specializing in North Indian, Asian, and continental cuisines. Where you can see there are 9 North Indian restaurants, 5 Asian restaurants, and 5 continental restaurants. The cluster one, which is represented by the orange clusters here, this one, uh, which has which has the budget friendly restaurants ranging from rupees 200 to 700, and which have varied ratings ranging from 2.5 to 4.2, which also mostly serves the North Indian fast food and Chinese. The cluster 2, which is green in color is the mid-range restaurants ranging from rupees 1,000 to 1,500, which again serves the North Indian, Chinese, and continental being dominant. The cluster 3, which is red in color, contains the premium restaurants, which we can say the five-star restaurants which have the average cost of rupees 2,500 plus, though which have only few data points, and they have been serving the Asian, Italian, and continental cuisines. The fifth cluster, which has a diverse cost range ranging from 600 rupees 1,000, and mostly features the North Indian, Chinese, and biryani cuisine. So we can say that the North Indian of in the clustering also, we can say that the North Indian cuisines are dominating in the various restaurants in the dataset which I have received. So again, in the next step, I have applied the principal component analysis, where which it has suggested the number of which is also again suggested the number of clusters should range from four and 5 clusters. So again I have got the same kind of cluster, so the same insights here as well. So the silhouette score also gives the same optimal, that is of an optimal number of k-means clustering of 5. And after again applying the principal component analysis, again I have applied the k-means cluster. Again, you can see after applying the k-means clustering, there is after principal component analysis and k-means clustering, the clusters have increased the number of restaurants having in each cluster. So first cluster have the 19 restaurants, second cluster have the 20 restaurants, third cluster have the 8, fourth 26, and fifth one has the 27. So there is an increase in the clustering. So the cluster 4 has the highest number of restaurants, that is 27, closely by the cluster T26. The cluster 2 has the least number of restaurants, that is 8. These restaurants have distinct characteristics. And the cluster 0 and 1 contain 19 and 20 restaurants respectively, forming a moderate size group. So again, you can see that this is the clustering of the restaurant based on the rating and the cost using the principal component analysis. So again, you can see here the North Indian again dominating the charts for North Indian Chinese is again dominating on the base of now. The previous clustering was based on the first clustering, which was purely based on the ratings as well as the cost. Now the second K-means clustering was based only on the ratings. Again, if we see the North Indian Chinese cuisines is the largest and received the highest number of ratings, and the cluster 4, which is our fifth cluster, is again dominated by North Indian Chinese cuisines. The fourth cluster is which only have 6 restaurants, which is the smallest, only Asian, Italian, and continental cuisines. Cluster 2 and 4 have the strong presence of North Indian Chinese cuisine, indicating the similar rating trends. And the cluster 0 has again North Indian and Asian cuisines, which could be the which where which could represent the high end or specialty restaurants. The restaurants are well separated in clusters, suggesting distinct group based on rating. So here it was So this was my entire project. So what I have concluded from this entire project and analysis. The North Indian, Chinese, and fast food cuisines are popular among the food enthusiasts. Also, these cuisines have received a maximum reviews and rating among the other cuisine categories. There is also strong possibility that these cuisines might be served on a large in the top expensive restaurants based on their cost and rating correlation. So we can now conclude that the North Indian cuisines are the most liked and preferred by the reviewers as well, and also received the highest rating as compared to the other major cuisines. So uh, if a restaurant is new to the business, it should focus on the not so common cuisines like Mughlai, uh, continental Asian, etc. So what can be the further development in this project? So I have planning to convert this unsupervised machine learning model into a supervised model, which can predict the ratings based on the cost and reviews or vice versa, and deploying the model on the cloud or free cloud like Render, Streamlit, etc. So this was all about the Zomato restaurants clustering and sentimental analysis. So so the experience was very great while developing this project. Uh, I have encountered some issues during applying the text pre-processing using NLP, tokenization, lemmatization, etc. Because I have not studied at this functionality of natural language processing, but the experience was great, and tackling this some kind of problems helped me in learning the new things in the projects, and looking forward for developing more such interesting projects. Uh, Thank you very much for giving an opportunity. So thank you till next project. Thank you very much.